Hello YouTube and welcome to Babcia Crafts. I'm Christina and I am doing the follow-up video for removing a doll's eyeballs. We already had removed her eyes, cutting the hole in the back of the head and cutting the little eye sockets open so that they open here, and pop the eyeballs out, put new eyelashes on. That's another video. And now we are painting. I already started painting one eye. This is what the eye looked like previously. My husband thought it would be really cool to do cat's eyes, but I really wanted blue eyes. So what I did is I just combined the two, and I will show you my process now. The first things that you'll want to get together are some acrylic paints. I use pearlescent liquid acrylic, and this is called Silver Pearl. I use the acrylic artist ink, processed cyan. This is the same thing, and this is brownie blue, and then obviously just your straight black, India black ink. Okay, I also got a little container of acetone alcohol nail polish remover, and although you can't tell now, this is just plain water. So you want to make sure that you have cotton swabs, so in case there's a mistake or whatever, you can just bring it to a point, dip it in, dip it on your paper towel, and then make sure that that's a really nice sharp point and there's no extra fuzzies, and then you will just get around the edges of the eye as you need to. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. Okay, what I did first is I took some of my processed cyan and dipped my brush in, put a couple drops in, dipped it in again, put some more, and obviously clean my brush off in between. And then I took the Silver Pearl and I mixed it with that till I got this really nice light color blue. And then I took the brownie blue and just dipped that in there straight, and same thing with the black. I dipped that in there straight. The first thing I did was grab the lightest blue, and this is where you have to tape the eyelashes back and be really careful of the bottom lashes, is I colored the entire eye with the blue, and you might have to go over this a few times because it is a hard thing to make sure that you stay in the lines and you don't get it on the lashes or anywhere else on the eye. And like anything, it takes practice. The nice part about this is if you make a mistake, you have your handy dandy little Q-tips and your nail polish remover to take off any mistakes. And if you absolutely hate how the eye turned out, you can always start over. That's what I like about this. This will be permanent unless you use the nail polish remover on it. You can wash your doll with soap and water. She can get wet, not a big deal, but you want to make sure that you paint it with the acrylic paints, not water-based paints, and that you seal it afterwards with a clear coat finish, and I'll show you that a little later. So go ahead and just paint the whole eyeball blue. Once you get a really nice solid blue color, I'll meet you back here and I will show you how I got the dark blue and the light blue. Okay, both of the eyeballs are done. Unfortunately, I thought I was recording when I was doing the second eyeball, but I wasn't. And every time I looked up at the computer anyway, it would be too small to even show you because I'm so busy holding it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you on here how to do this. Now this is your blue eyeball. You're going to take a little bit of that darker blue and you're going to go from the outside and sweep inwards. And you want to make sure, like I said, make sure that that lighter blue is dry before you do this. I don't think that that's quite dry enough, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. So just being careful to stay within the constraints of the eyeball. You're going to take that darker blue and sweep inwards like so, and just keep doing that until you start getting the effect that you want. There we go. And don't worry if there's a dark spot like that, because you can always take the lighter blue and go back over it. That's not a big deal. So you're just going to sweep in like that and go all the way around the eye. The outside is always a little darker than the inside, so you can do darker marks or just more little marks towards the outside of the eye. Like so. And it's kind of cool how the paint just naturally ends up mixing together anyway. Because once you go over it so many times, you end up with a couple different colors of blue. Water to clean my brush off. Try and get it to dry a little bit. You might want to wait and let it dry a little bit before you continue in between applications, because then you'll just end up moving paint around. So I hope you're getting the idea of this, and it's easily visible on the camera. Let's see here. Like I said, just be really careful of eyelashes and all of that fun stuff. Okay, once you get your darker blue in, you're going to go back in there, let it dry for like a minute or two. It dries pretty darn quick. And you'll go back in there with the lighter, and you will make more marks with the lighter color on the inside, because the inside of the eye is going to be lighter than the outside. And this one you can do from the inside out if you need to, simply because the cat eye is going to be in the center, so it doesn't matter if there's too much in the center. You want to kind of feather it out. And like I said, if you don't let it dry in between, you start getting just this mixture of colors. So you might have to let it dry for a couple minutes in between. but you're getting, I believe that you'll get the general gist of this. And once you actually get the look that you want, then you can go ahead and start the cat eye, but definitely let it dry a little before you do that. Okay, I'm going to call that good. And everyone's going to be different, and each eye is going to be slightly different, but that's okay because nobody's eyes are exactly the same on both sides. So just clean off our brush here, and I am just going to twirl the tip of the paintbrush so it comes to a nice point. And then what you're going to do is in the middle of the eye, from, let's say this is your eye, or your doll's eyes, not your eyes. Okay, you are going to draw a straight line down the middle, like so with the black. And you can leave it little, you can make it thick, however you want it. Just like so, from top to bottom. And then once you get that nice line going, you're going to start at the beginning. It's going to be thin at the beginning and the end, and it's going to kind of arch towards the middle. So that's what we're going to do now, is just arch it in the middle. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Trying to make sure that they're pretty darn even. And if they're not, don't worry, because you can always use your nail polish remover and fix it. Not a big deal whatsoever. And once you're happy with your arch, look at your eye, see if you need any more work done to it. And I think what I'm going to do is just add a little bit more lighter color there towards the center. So I'll let that dry for a second, and then we're going to add just a little bit more of the light blue, just to kind of make that pop out a little bit more. And this one you gotta be very careful when you're feathering out, because you don't want to touch the black. It will smear the black out. So just very barely touching your brush and not touching the black. This is kind of hard to do this. On video. Okay. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to put a little bit more blue, and halfway from the inside out, just to kind of, just do little lines coming out. so it's a little darker around the edges, but still light on the inside. You can always make it even lighter than this on the inside if you'd like. Okay, and then if you want to take some of that pearl, just the straight up pearl after it's all dried, and dab some on your board. And once that dries, this pearl is almost it's almost like a transparent color. Whatever color's underneath shows through. So you'll just take it in little tiny, I mean, absolutely minute little feathers coming out here and there from the center. And that will just give it that extra little boost of lightness. And if you feel you need to go back over it again with blue, or you're not quite happy with it yet, go ahead. It won't hurt anything. Okay, so I think that's pretty darn good. I'm pretty delighted with the results, and if you like this video, check out my other YouTube videos. I teach you how to restring a doll's neck and how to I teach you how to re-wig a doll's hair. I also go over rerooting a doll's hair, and I just have a ton of videos up, so just keep that in mind. Check out my other videos, and next video I will show you how to pop these eyes back in to your doll's head. You do want to make sure that you wait a while before you actually do this, pop the doll's eyes back in, and there's kind of a process with it since we have the new eyelashes on her as well. So okay, we're ready to put on our sealer. The eyes are dry, or at least dry enough, I believe. So we have our clear acrylic sealer. I'm going to spray it inside a little container, dab my paintbrush in, and very quickly and very gently just take the eye and seal that so that it has this nice shiny finish, and then we will let that dry thoroughly, and just be careful not to get it on the eyelashes, and make sure the entire eyeball is covered, and then we'll just let that dry. Same thing with our other eye. You could pretty much just dab it on in little drops. You don't have to really rub, because this dries super quick. Well, within a couple minutes, super quick, not immediately quick. But that gives this that shiny, glossy doll eye look. Okay, so I'll drop that in there, let it dry. I'm just going to take a look at my other eye, make sure I got all the edges. And I believe that's pretty darn good. If you notice any smearing, just stop, let them dry longer. Remember, you can always go back over it with the paint if anything messes up, and then go back over it with the sealant again. There's no need to completely clean the eye off with the nail polish remover and start all over. Just let it simply dry and try and keep them pointed upwards. There we go. Let them dry and you will have wonderful homemade eyeballs for your doll, whatever design you want. I will be showing you in my next video how to put the eyes back in the doll, so check out my other YouTube videos for that. And I do a re-rooting / re-wigging on my poor little doll head here that I've been using. So I also teach you how to use the acrylic paints to do lipstick and blush and eyeshadow and a mani-pedi, so that's also included. I hope you had fun and enjoyed.